Blaine Alexander joins us now on the phone. Blaine, can you tell us what is going on right now on West Florissant?
Yeah, hi. We literally dove for cover into our news vehicle because around us as we speak, I'm looking out our windows and it's almost just like there's just a thick cloud of smoke around us. I'm not even kidding you. It's kind of actually difficult to see. It's maybe about 2-3 minutes ago, suddenly we heard a police announcement saying, clear the area, leave the area now. Suddenly you heard the pops, the familiar pops of either tear gas or smoke gas canisters being popped off. We don't know whether it's tear gas or smoke at this point, but we do know that it was blowing very quickly in our direction. My photographer Tony and I, we were standing by the camera. We were getting ready to go live. We saw it. We dove in the car to get away from it. And you look around. There were many people out there who were shooting, and now they ducked for cover as well. I'm looking right in front of us, maybe 50 feet or more. And I can see police armored vehicles. Those are armored vehicles in front of us, correct? Yeah. Police armored vehicles. That's where they're making the announcement saying, and the fumes are actually getting in our car right now, which is why you hear my voice changing. But they're you can hear the police in front of them announcing, get out of the area, clear the area.
I think that you guys just came to us. We're standing here. We're at the intersection of West Florissant and Canfield Drive. We are just behind the police line. I'm standing here with Don, my photographer I'm working with. You can see right here, we're very close to the police line. We've been able to hear over police scanner traffic because, again, we're up here with law enforcement. We're hearing over scanner traffic reports of shots fired at Chambers and West Florissant. So that's the next major intersection further up from where we are. It's you can't see it from here, but it's the next major intersection up there. Also, since we've been standing here, we have had an officer come over and tell some of the media who've gathered over here. He said there are shots fired. There are gunshots, again, at the intersection of Chambers and West Florissant. Now, we are about, just to give you a perspective, we're, down the road, still on West Florissant, but a ways from the McDonald's where we were originally. We came up here and we followed the police line. As I was walking up here, you could kind of see just the debris of all of the things that we've been talking about, all of the events that have been unfolding. We passed by empty gas canisters in the street. We tripped over one. My photographer saw a flashbang grenade in the street. You saw several what seemed to be bricks kind of piled up in the streets. One of the things that we had heard earlier among all the chatter was that possibly protesters had put up some sort of bricks to deter police or barricade police. We saw those bricks in the streets. As we look up, again, the police line is just kind of a few feet ahead of us. We're getting an announcement. Just a second. Hold on. Let's see if we can take him on.
Between these two vehicles, we have shots on that block. Speed over. Move over here. Move over here. Move over here.
All right, so you're hearing the officer. He's telling us to move over here. There are shots fired on the next block. So we're kind of, Don is moving, I'm moving, obviously trying to get to safety.
And again, now they're asking us to turn the lights off because sometimes those television lights can make the police officers a target or the reporters who are on television a target, so it is safer to turn off, even though it makes for lousy television pictures sometimes. It's more important that everybody is safe out there. And Blaine and Don are moving from West Florissant and Canfield and getting behind some of these police vehicles.
And I know that Don had a military-grade scarf he's been wearing to try and just keep that tear gas out of his nasal passages and in his eyes. The photographers, they've been trying.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you, Blaine.
I was going to tell you that one of the officers said, we want to make sure that you're out of the line of fire. I'm really kind of crouched down behind this black police Suburban. I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm about 5'11", so that's why I'm almost kind of bending down.
Well, just make sure you stay safe. Because he said, we want you to be behind these vehicles for protection. Let's go back to Blaine Alexander. Blaine, can you tell us what's going on where you are?
She's with Christina.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Blaine, I see you at the microphone.
Right beside Christina. Christina and I are actually getting... Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me at all?
Go ahead. We can hear you loud and clear.
I was going to tell you, I'm standing right beside Christina. Exactly. Just to set the scene for you, we're standing beside a business at the corner of West Florissant and Chambers. There are people, armed officers that were kind of standing behind buildings.
In the car?
there are people that were standing behind buildings. They called to our station security guard and said, you need to move these people off of the corner. Now, keep in mind, that's a place we had already been told by police out here that we needed to get out of kind of the clearing area and move back behind the building. So there were a group of us, some media, some just spectators who were standing there. He called to our security guard while Christina was live on the air and said, you need to move your people out. We came back, we came around the building, and now we are kind of standing by to get in our cars. Now, keep in mind, look at the time, too. This is kind of what we've been counting down to all night. It's 5 minutes after midnight. Across the street, just from where I'm standing, we see that mobile gas station, and you see all of these officers that are lining up, and just as I'm speaking, they're moving into place. I know you can't see it from where our cameras are, but there are officers that have moved just since in the past 3 or 4 minutes, moved locations and moving into place. It is very similar to what we saw last night, of course, the first night of curfew going into effect, where again, I mentioned it was almost like this choreographed movement among officers. It looks like they have their plans. They know exactly what they're looking for and what they're about to do, and it seems that they're moving into place.